impacted by this event at the airport. This is right near the Indianapolis airport. We're told the staging area for police to give that update is going to be at one of the hotels that are no doubt around airports like this all over the country. And we're told a major highway, major interstate I-70 closed in both directions. And we don't know if that is still into effect, but at about 30 minutes ago, that was the case. That I-70 running along this side of this FedEx facility, no doubt for some travelers going to the airport.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Theresa Stutz. Appreciate everybody that came back into the stream to catch up with the situation that's going on in Indianapolis. At the Indianapolis airport, located in Indianapolis, the section of the city I'm not sure of, but it's at the airport, and it's located at the Fedex facility in the airport. Shout out to everybody in the stream: Michael Russell, Anthony Mulhan, Lake Speed, OG Perfect Sense. Let's get to it. The volume is, well, they're not really saying anything right now. But as you can see, there's multiple people around. There are buses that I guess usually take people going to the airport, park behind each other.
When I say this, but there are such few details that we do know. The information is so sparse at this moment that I feel like I am repeating myself, but let's just reiterate the facts on the ground there. We know police will brief very, very soon the public and the press there about this situation where multiple people were shot near a FedEx facility near the Indianapolis airport. Huge police response at the moment, emergency response vehicles as well. Lots of people out and about in this very active scene. We don't know yet, though, if the situation is under control. From the looks of it, it's very, very active, but we still don't know what is going on inside the FedEx facility itself. Once we hear from police, we'll have more of a sense, an idea of what happened. This is very late at night. It's 1:15 in the morning there in Indianapolis. And as you know, we've been reporting that these FedEx facilities are largely 24/7 operations. There would be countless employees there at the time in the facility, in the parking lot working. And remember, they have largely been deemed essential workers during the pandemic, so they have not been able to work from home, getting us all our FedEx packages on time and delivered. And so, no doubt, hopefully we'll be hearing from police about a possible motive, about who the suspects could have been, and sadly, if there have been any fatalities in this mass shooting. We just know at the moment that multiple people have been shot. And you can see that these buses are lined up there. They look like just kind of city transit buses, and maybe those are to transport employees or friends and families and employees. In a lot of these situations that I've covered before, they need to get witness statements from anyone who saw this, from anyone who was there. And depending on how large the facility is, how large the workforce is, that could be hundreds of people. And depending on how large the facility is, which I assume is very, very massive, these distribution facilities are in the hundreds of thousands of square feet. They need to comb that for evidence, scour that crime scene, photograph it, document it. And so this is going to be a very, very large undertaking and investigation.
So as we know, ladies and gentlemen, there's been a multiple shooting at the airport section of Indianapolis at the Fedex facility. They don't know who has done the shooting. Wait a minute, I think I'm getting some information going on here. I got people sending me all kinds of information.
And at the moment, sometimes we do like to just listen in just to hear some of the natural sounds from these live feeds that we get. Let's see if we have anything on this feed at the moment.
Shout outs to the person who just sent me that cash drop through PayPal. I'm pretty sure your government name is there, so I don't want to say your name. But shout outs to you. You know who you are. Appreciate you.
And it looks like we don't have much natural sound. You kind of just have the sights right now. Not much audio there on the scene itself. But there you can see some of these people are getting into these buses. These buses are now, looks like, leaving. You can see a bunch of people getting into them. Maybe they were not called in response to the shooting. Maybe they're just going to the parking garage. It says garage right on the front of one of those buses, and maybe this is just a daily occurrence for those FedEx employees, but it was interrupted, no doubt, by this mass shooting event. We do want to thank you for being with us here on News Now from Fox as we are in continuing live breaking news coverage of what's going on right now in Indianapolis, Indiana. Multiple reports of people shot at that FedEx facility near the airport. We're going to get an update from police very, very soon, and hopefully they will offer some more information on all the questions that I've been posing right now to our viewers who have been watching this for about the last 30 minutes or so. And I know I sound like a broken record when I am repeating a lot of the facts that we don't know, but it's important because in situations like this, it is so unwise and detrimental to the truth to just kind of speculate and assume, but we're not going to do that. We are going to wait for official channels to give us the information. And so thanks for being with us. Thanks for choosing News Now from Fox as your news source. We've been covering so many stories today, tragic ones, really.
Shout out to OG Perfect Sense for shooting that over to me. Appreciate you, OJ. We got a situation in Indianapolis, airport section at the FedEx facility. We got multiple shootings. We don't have any reports of any deaths. We just know people were shot. They do not know who committed these shootings.
And from Mayor Lightfoot in Chicago. So we've been covering a lot of these very tragic scenes, but also been covering everything politics out of the White House and Capitol Hill. And usually we are only live until a certain time, but we are extending those live hours right now for this coverage of this situation in Indianapolis at the moment. And
y'all make sure y'all hit that link. Come on and talk about what y'all want to talk about. Everybody know the Resistance channel is where y'all air y'all feelings out.
Oh yeah, I know, Jeff. Plus, I get to sleep in tomorrow. Again, no trial. You can just, along the fence, they have,
Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, top right screen is the coverage of Brooklyn Center protest with Dante Wright, who was killed Sunday evening by Ken Potter, former officer of the Brooklyn Center Police. What a tragedy. I wonder if we could trust the process. If y'all think we can trust the process, or if you think we can't trust the process, hit the link. Come on up and talk about it. Also, we have the coverage of multiple shootings in Indianapolis at the airport. FedEx facility located in the airport section of Indianapolis. It's the resistance.
And it's coming up on 1:30 in the morning there in Indianapolis, 10:30 here in Phoenix, Arizona, and we are just awaiting an update from police, and we just lost our shot there. We apologize. As customary, photographers on the ground, they have to move, the police tell them to move in situations like this, or even they have to get to the press conference that police are going to be holding very, very soon. And once they do, we will air that live, and we'll...
Shout out to 1.21 gigawatts.
...in this, whether there were multiple suspects, and we know, though, there have been multiple people shot. We just don't know the extent of their injuries, or if there have been any fatalities, and the response has just been massive emergency-wise, and so in a sense like this, you kind of, pray for the best, but you're kind of a little pessimistic about what will be told there in that police press conference, and so we did lose our picture. We are going to go to a quick commercial break. Thanks for choosing News Now from Fox as your source for this story and for all the big stories of the day, as always. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, but we have the shot back up there that is in Indianapolis. So see you back here in 2 minutes.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me one more time.
And I'm seeing unconfirmed reports about the number of victims, but I am not going to start passing along unconfirmed reports. So we'll just have to wait and see from the police. Supposedly they're going to give another announcement soon. Courtney Crown says they said they'll be back shortly for another interview. All right, so
they have a method 23
So again, this was at the FedEx facility.
You're on North Street.
At the FedEx facility in Indianapolis, near the airport. There's the airport.
IFD is going to contact Red Cross to call his cell phone.
There's the airport. There's the FedEx facility. Right here.
Information document in pursuit.
Huge facility.
Meridian, South Florida, Boulder, silver or white truck, toolbox.com, burglary suspect. Frank 339.
Hey, Bruce, police restart for Boston Child Fire, Base 5, 42nd Street, City.
If you're hearing more, give me a shout on Twitter at Look.
Later. 321. Home first, of course. Control, can you make sure that's fine?
So we're bringing you live coverage and just waiting for more information here.
We are getting some more information while we
I think
It may have already happened. I don't know if we had the shot for it, but we are going to work on getting you that because it's important and we want to give you that information. But according to Indiana State Police Sergeant John Perrine, he said I-70 though is now reopened, but there is no access to the Fedex facility, any of those entryways itself. But he's telling the public that they can access the Indianapolis airport from both directions now. That was not the case a little while ago, and so it does seem to be that the scene has gotten under control, that it is no longer active, and so we're working on getting that police press conference for you, whether live or after the fact, in order for us to play it out for you here on News Now. Bear with us. We're going to just find some more information on this story, but thanks for being with us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we was just told that the airport is accessible. Everything is under control right now. So what we're waiting on is to find out the who, what, and well, we know the what. We need to just know the who and why. Hopefully that'll be delivered to us. So y'all stay tuned real quick. I'm going to pull back up the trial testimony of Shawanda Hill as we're waiting on this information to develop even more. Shout out to AJ Newton, Lake Speed, Level Wise to See, Salt Life, Sleeping Bear, FFG. Hey, if y'all guys want to come on up and talk about what's going on, you want to air out y'all feelings, feel free to come on up. The flow on the Resistance channel is say what you feel, but just remember, if you say something out of pocket, I will check you. I love discourse. We can talk shit all night long, but let's just keep it real. Sleeping Bear, FFG, what's going on? Dirt Plant. And remember, I'm giving everyone a welcome. I give everybody a shout out, whether you're wrong or right. I always welcome you to the stream. But that don't mean I'm sweet. I will check you. 1.21 gigawatts. Welcome, bro. Hey, Aso. Come on up and talk, Aso. Hit that link. Anthony Moorhan, what up, bro? Appreciate you. Mike Ramirez. Eviscerations. Had to pay attention to you guys up here in the stream, man, because I appreciate every time y'all come through. We're waiting for developing news in Indianapolis, ladies and gentlemen. Indianapolis, situation is that there's been multiple shootings. We try to find out what's going on with it. Multiple shootings at our airport section of Indianapolis at the Fedex facility. Give me a second. I'm going to try to pull that, I am going to pull that footage up of the trial testimony of Shawanda Hill as we wait for more developing news out of Indianapolis.
You know, the defense called Peter Chang? Yeah, but now, but still, pretty calm here, picture what's going on, because, it goes like probably half a mile away. Emergency police coming from this facility to the hospital, like I said earlier, whatever.
Shout out to cameras for mass destruction. Chuck Bronson is headed there now. Y'all let me know what's going on once Chuck Bronson get there. I'll try to feed into that.
Before you begin, can you give us your full name, spelling, and figure? Peter Chen. First name is Peter.
And welcome back here to News Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft, and we want to thank you for being with us. That was just a live look there of Midtown Manhattan in New York City, right across the street from the Fox News World headquarters. And so we have those scenes from around the country just waiting for us to show you, and we do take the opportunity to show you those when we do have them. But at the meantime, we are getting more information on this mass shooting in Indianapolis at that Fedex processing facility. Multiple people have been reported shot. Our sources here at Fox News or the Associated Press, we still do not know yet the number of victims, the status of those victims, whether or not there are any fatalities, and what might or might not have happened to the suspect involved. What we do know, according to Indiana State Police, is that main
shout out Sleeping Bear
is now reopened to traffic. But in and around the facility, the FedEx facility itself, traffic is still being blocked. It's closed. But people who need to get to the airport, remember, the scene was right by the Indianapolis International Airport. They can get to the airport no problem right now, but that was not the case as of a few minutes ago. And so I'm just going to go over to my computer here, but we are looking for some more information. And remember, that was one of my main questions. Were the victims shot inside the facility, or were they shot outside the parking lot? And as we know now, we're learning that multiple people were shot both inside and outside the FedEx facility there. We're also learning that police initially received reports of a person shooting in the parking lot and then inside the FedEx facility, like I just said. And so we are waiting to get more information at the moment. Before we do that, just don't forget, News Now from Fox. We're live, we're raw, and we're unfiltered. And we do have a Twitter account. You can go give us a follow at News Now Fox. That's our handle. You can give me a follow at Andrew Kraft. That's my handle. Would really appreciate that. But remember, we do have a website too. Our website is newsnowfox.com, and that's where you can go to figure out how you can watch us and where you can find us. And so just remember that we've been covering the gamut of all the biggest breaking news stories of the day, as we do. That's what we do every day. We do want to just preview for you as well some of the major stories we'll be hitting tomorrow and on the weekend. Remember, we'll have special live coverage starting on Saturday morning, I believe 10 a.m. Eastern, the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip's funeral there at Windsor Castle at St. George's Chapel, the royal family.
So we still waiting on developing news out of Indianapolis. Shout out to Mike Jones. Waiting on developing news out of Minneapolis of a mass shooting in the airport section. They're trying to figure out who did it. The news doesn't know yet. The airport is accessible. Everything is under control. So we're trying to figure out the who and the why. So I'm playing a Shawanda Hill testimony right now as we get more developing information out of Indianapolis, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, Michelle. Thank you for being here with us today. I just have a few questions about May 25th of 2020. Do you recall that date? Yes. On that date, were you at the Cup Foods located in Minneapolis? Yes. Did you run into anybody that you knew while you were there? Yes, George Floyd. And while you were at the Cup Foods, or in the Cup Foods, did you have an opportunity to observe Mr. Floyd's behavior, demeanor, and interaction? Yes. How would you describe Mr. Floyd's behavior while inside of the Cup Foods? Angry, normal, talking, alert. Did he offer to give you a ride
Yes.
Back to wherever it was. And so did you go to his car?
Yes.
Once you got into the car, did you observe any changes to his demeanor?
When we were in the car for the first like 8 minutes, we were talking and saying, something wrong with my. And then I got a phone call. And so I was on the phone for the rest of the time until the little boys came to the car and he fell asleep at that time.
So at some point during the course of the time that you were in the car with Mr. Floyd, Mr. Floyd suddenly fell asleep.
Yes.
And the phone call you received, was that from your daughter?
Yes.
And so you were talking with your daughter during that time?
Yes.
And you described, would you agree that at some point, you said some little boys, are those employees of the store? That's okay. The store employees came and approached the car, correct? And at that point, Mr. Floyd suddenly fell asleep?
He was already asleep.
He was already sleeping?
Yes. When they came to the car. And when they came down, tried to wake him up, they tried to wake him up, tried to wake him up over and over. And then they tried to wake him up, and he woke up, and say something, and made a little gesture, and nodded back off.
Was that kind of a sudden change from how you observed him in the store to the car?
Yes, but he's already told me in the store he was tired because he had been working up.
Objection, Brown?
And so at some point, did the store clerks leave the side of the car?
Yes, I told him that I would wake him up and send him in there because I didn't have the money on that.
And did you continue to try to rouse Mr. Floyd?
Guys, so again, people every 2 minutes, somebody is saying, have you, somebody messaging me.
Okay.
So did you continue to try to awaken Mr. Floyd?
Yes, I tried a couple times, but then, I just let it go for a minute because I was back on the phone.
All right. And did the store clerks come back to the car a second time?
No.
And were you, at some point, the police officers?
And welcome back here to News Now from Fox, and this is Andrew Kraft here, and we want to thank you for choosing News Now as your go-to source for all the breaking news updates every single day. And we do have a statement on camera from a police official there in Indianapolis, and remember, we've been following this story for about the last hour now. Multiple people shot at that Fedex facility near the Indianapolis airport. This is about 2 minutes long. We did not get these statements live from police. This is after the fact, but here is the latest that we know from police in Indianapolis.
Good evening. Just after 11 o'clock this evening, Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department officers responded at 8951 Mirabelle Road to the Fedex building. They responded on the report of shots being fired at that business. As officers arrived, they came in contact with an active shooter incident. Preliminary information at this time is that the shooter has taken his own life. We don't feel that there is an active threat to the community at this time. We have multiple people with injuries consistent with gunshot wounds. We have others that have been transported to various hospitals throughout the area. We are asking that if you have family members that work at FedEx and you have not been able to make contact with them, and you are responding out here, that you go to the Holiday Inn Express, located at 8555 Stansted Drive. IMPD Chaplain's Office, along with several others, will be at that location to assist. Out of respect for the family members that are involved, we'll be back shortly for additional information. Thank you.
All right, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The man has committed suicide. There's no further threat. They will be back to let you know the families involved who were shot. My condolences go out to the families of the victims. Shit is crazy, man.
Wounds, and so they're urging any family members of those who do have family who work at that FedEx facility to go to a location in order to be notified the worst news that they could possibly get. And so right now, that's all we know, and we have been following this story for about the last hour or so. In the meantime, that's going to do it for us here on News Now from Fox. We'll be continuing to cover this story out of Indianapolis tomorrow when our East Coast outpost there in Orlando, Florida takes the reins back up again for live coverage at 6 a.m. Eastern. No doubt we have multiple follow-ups that we're going to have to do on this tragic event that took place tonight in Indianapolis, Indiana. But for all of us here at News Now from Fox, I want to thank you for watching tonight on your Thursday. We'll be back, same place, same.
Y'all stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still going to look for more coverage on this situation. Right now, we're going to watch some more of the Shawanda Hill testimony.
Morning, Ms. Hill. I just have a couple of follow-up questions for you, okay? So during the period that you were with Mr. Floyd in the store, he was alert, friendly, talkative, and when you went out to the store, he walked by himself out to the store. Back to the little dance as he went off to the truck. You have to make sure that you wait till questions out. I know it's hard to have it. And when you got back to the car, at some point he nodded off. Yes. But you were able to wake him, right? Yes. And talk to him.
Yes. But he wasn't coherent at times.
Wake him.
Yes.
And nodded off again.
Yes.
At some point, the police officer walked up, correct? Yes.
Yes.
And then he, you woke him up when the police officers walked up, correct?
Yes.
And so then he was awake.
Yes. He just wanted to say yes and want to explain what he wanted to do.
Well,
I don't want to explain everything. So when I tried to wake him up, he woke up the second time. I said, "Floyd, the police is here. It's about a $20 bill wasn't real." I kept saying, "Baby, get up. The police is up." So he looked, and we looked to the right, and he asked the police. He tapped on me with a flashlight. And I'm like, "Floyd," and so he turned back around again, like around the left. And I was like, "Baby, that's police. Open the door, roll down the window, whatever he told me to do." So he looked back, and he instantly, when he seen the man had the gun at the window at the back. When we looked back to him, so he instantly grabbed the wheel. And he was like, "Please, please don't kill me. Please, please don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. What did I do? Tell me what I did. Please don't kill me. Please don't shoot me." And I'm like, "Wait, it's not." You said explain. I can explain it with state you can see it, sir.
And I have to ask some questions. Sorry to cut you off there, yeah. But I want to go back and just cover one thing quickly. Where were you sitting in the chair?
In the back, right? Passenger seat.
So when officers came, were there two officers that came to you?
Yes.
One came to the passenger side and one to the driver's side?
Yes.
So initially you saw one officer to your right on the passenger side.
So I was up like I'm trying to wake him up, so I'm in the middle, like at the time, when the police were there. That's how I was able to see them too, just we both looked at the same time.
And when he was, during this time period, from customers and being in the vehicle. Did he complain of shortness of breath? Did he complain of chest pains?
No.
And other than being sleepy and nodding off a little bit, did he seem normal to anyone? And did he seem startled when the officer pulled a gun?
Yeah.
And Thank you. So while you were in the car, prior to getting in the car, Mr. Floyd appeared to you to be normal, correct?
Yes.
The guy in the car, he fell asleep, correct?
We talked for a while,
And then ultimately you had to make several efforts to try to wake him up.
yes. Thank you, Mr. Owen. Appreciate you coming in. I'm glad to. Before you begin, can you give us your full name, spelling, and your name?
Peter Chang. First name is Peter, P-E-T-E-R. Last name is Chang, C-H-A-G.
Thank you. Mr. Chang, by whom are you currently employed?
I'm employed with the Minneapolis Fire Police.
Shout out News Now, Preston, Nashville. Cody English.
Sir,
Yes.
could you please describe the training and experience that you have to the jury?
Training, I went through the Minneapolis Police Academy. Prior to that, I did
Miami Beach audits.
Passed my skills. I went to Police Academy through Minneapolis. After passing this academy, I went through FTO phase.
Is that field training?
Yes. And that consists of 5 months. After passing that, I went
You have you your entire law enforcement career in Minneapolis Park Police Department?
yes.
Base Welshman, you can donate at Cash App, Change App, or PayPal me at Eyes on Blue Bloods.
On duty back on May 25th of 2020 in your capacity as patrol officer for the Park Police?
Yes.
And did you ultimately respond to a call at approximately 8 o'clock p.m. to the Custwood store?
Yes.
And can you describe for the jury how it is that you became a part of this?
I was at a station at the park close by. I heard 320 called out that they were taking out one, I believe. And then I heard a lot of background noises. And I heard dispatch asking for assistance. I was one of the first responders, so I self-assigned to that call to assist.
Now, let me ask you, is it common for Minneapolis Park Police to assist on calls with the Minneapolis Police Department?
Yes.
Your jurisdiction generally is within the parks.
Yes.
However, you are able to back up or assist officers in Minneapolis Police Department.
Yes, that's correct.
Let me ask you one quick question about your experience. You said that you went to the Minneapolis Police Academy, right?
Yes.
Even though you were looking to become a Minneapolis Parks Police officer.
Yes.
Do the Park Police and the Minneapolis Police Department, you have the same academy?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Do you have the same training process?
I believe so, yes.
And then do you participate in continuing education in service as a police officer?
Yes, ma'am.
Shout out KP Nation. Dave Nichols.
Now, after you, so you responded to the customs location,
Yes.
and can you describe for the jury initially what you observed and what you did?
When I got there, I initially stopped in front of the booth and I observed the 2 officers across the street. So I drew my squad across the street and parked. I got in my car, 320, one officer stated they would go forward.
let me ask you quickly, did you know either Officers King or Lane prior to this incident?
No.
Now, were you asked to do something at that point?
Once I got out of my car, Officer came and asked me to identify Floyd in our system. So I just went back to my squad car and identified Floyd.
All right. And what happened next?
Once I was in my car identifying Floyd, as they're also Lane and Kane, assisting Floyd towards their car, which was in front of them.
Now, can you describe where, that would be Squad 320, correct?
I believe so.
And can you describe where Squad 320 was parked and where you were parked?
320 was parked in front of police. They were on the northbound lane facing southbound. And I was facing across the street on 38. I believe the front of my squad car was facing eastbound and 38 towards that one.
Did you then move your squad car?
Yes, once I identified Floyd, I moved, because I was there also Lane King assisting Floyd to their squad car. I moved my squad car around and parked in front of their car.
So your cars were sort of nose to nose?
Yes.
At an angle, right?
Yes.
All right. What happened next?
After that, I got on my squad car. I observed Officer Kane and Lane assisting Floyd as a squad car, so I wanted to go assist. But once I approached them, Officer Lane told me to watch the car.
And you did that. And then where did you go in relation to the car?
The car was parked on Turkey Street, so I just went across the street.
And what did you do then?
When I approached the car, I observed the two individuals that initially when I arrived, I saw Officer Lane with, just reaching inside the car. And I basically just told them to back away from the car, not inside.
So you were monitoring what the two passengers were doing at that time?
Yes.
Was your attention focused on what Officers King and Lane were doing, or was it focused on what the passengers were doing?
It was more focused on the vehicle and two passengers.
Now, at some point, did you observe another squad car arrive?
Yes.
And can you describe that interaction that you had?
I believe that was Squad 330. They arrived coming.
Shout outs Black Panther.
They parked in front of the SUV, and I basically just directed them towards 320, where they still were in front of us.
Shout out Salt Life.
Squad 320.
No, I just parked.
330.
No, I promised Matt I'll talk a couple times, but no relationship.
You never met Officer Chauvin prior to that?
No.
Now, what happened next?
It's a very psychological thing that's happening here.
And as Mr. Floyd and the officers were across the street, did you notice any changes in the area?
Yeah, as there was a crowd, and I guess the crowd was becoming more loud and aggressive. A lot of young, frustrated.
Did that cause you any concern?
Concern for the officers.
Did you go over to try to help them?
No, because I asked my dad was a bunch of car and
Did you know whether the car had been searched at all by officers?
at that time, no.
Were you concerned about that?
Yes.
Now, I am assuming that on this day you were in a uniform similar to what a Minneapolis police officer would wear?
Yes.
So you were fully uniformed?
Yes.
With all of the duty belts and all of the things that are on the duty belt, right?
Yes.
You were driving a marked squad car?
Yes.
And does your department require you to wear a body-worn camera?
Yes.
Was your body-worn camera active and recording this event?
Yes.
Now, have you had an opportunity at this point to review the footage that was taken by your body-worn camera?
I know.
And does that appear to be a fair and accurate representation of the things you observed?
Yes.
Now, in terms of as the crowd or the group of people were congregating around Squad 320, did you notice anything in terms of the tone or tenor of the voice of those people?
They were very aggressive. Aggressive towards officers.
Did the volume increase?
Yes.
And so how were you reacting? How were you splitting? How were you reacting?
Yes, I was,
State police say Interstate 70 is closed in both directions near the Indianapolis airport as they go over the scene. We are hearing from our sister station in Indianapolis that some victims or people who have family members that work at that Fedex facility have been texting their loved ones saying that they're okay, but that there was an active shooter at the scene. But we also have word from police that there are several people who have been shot. Again, we don't know how many, and we don't know the status of the people who have been shot.
Yeah, that's a huge FedEx facility and employs more than 4,000 people. In fact, it's the second biggest in the country, but again, at this point, we don't know the circumstances of the shooting.
We will continue to follow this breaking news throughout the rest of this hour and into our 10 o'clock newscast and keep you posted on the latest developments on what is yet, sadly, another apparent mass shooting incident in the country.
Are you familiar with Greenwich Mean Time? Okay. So you don't know why the timestamp, you said you were, what time would you originally estimate that you were dispatched to this call, or did you assign it?
You do have break.
Obviously, there's a time difference here.
News to tell you about police in Indianapolis are investigating after we know several people have been shot. It's not clear how many. On the city's southwest side, not too far from the airport. There were reports a little while ago that there could still be an active shooter on the scene. Not clear right now whether that is still true. But again, we know that several people have been shot. Of the shooting.
We will continue to follow this breaking news throughout the rest of the month, that there was an active shooter at the scene, but we also have word from police that there are several people who have been shot. Again, we don't know how many, and we don't know the status of the people who have been shot.
Yeah, that's a huge FedEx facility and employs more than 4,000 people. In fact, it's the second biggest in the country, but again, at this point, we don't know the circumstances of the shooting.
And that report has been confirmed, ladies and gentlemen, that the shooter has committed suicide. There are shooting victims. The airport is now accessible. Everything is under control.
document that initial interaction that you had with Officer King Lane, Mr. Floyd, and the passengers of the vehicle?
Yes.
All right. And did you then, in fact, use your computer to enter in the name of George Floyd?
Yes.
All right. And after you did that, what happened next?
Then I served off the Lane case as George Floyd to their squad car was the front of the side. I had to move my squad car around so I could be closer, and I got out of the car, and then I served off the Lane case Floyd against their squad car, so I went to assist, but once I approached them, Officer Lane told me to go on.
I'm going to, we can take this down, Your Honor. In front of you, officer, again, showing you part of your body camera footage. And it appears to be the same date, the same after you've run the information and looped the card. Does this video accurately reflect what you saw that day?
Yes.
I would move, Your Honor, for the admission of five.
The court's part of ruling 1055.
Motion to publish.
Okay. Now, once you guys grab anything from the car, here, leave the car alone. Leave the car alone. Right now.
There's a phone.
Alright. Leave the car alone.
Okay.
Good. Good. Did you guys take on the car? Cigarettes? Then personal items?
This is mine. I have my hand. My phone.
Okay.
It's all in there.
Whose car is this?
Actually, it's a friend's car. Give me a name. I'm trying to protect her.
Okay. Who is he to you guys?
My ex.
Your ex. Okay.
And I just seen him in the store, so he was going to give me a ride out.
Okay.
I just can't get my phone.
Okay. Just stay put, alright? I don't want anyone near his car.
I'm going to check my name because I'm on the way here.
Alright, where's the ID?
I don't have a great
Alright, why don't you stay right there, okay?
They know who's gave the money or whatnot.
Okay. You guys give my partners their names or no?
Yeah.
You guys did? Okay. You here right now? You wrote down everything? Okay, stay put, alright? Let's see what my partner does.
Yeah, you still won't get in the car. Just sit down, dude. They got put him in his car. Oh, he's right now.
see what happens, all right? You guys just stay put and tell the fire to come back here. You guys all have your IDs on you? Huh? I see your ID again. He has your ID?
I gave him my name, but I didn't
Okay.
give a person nothing.
Alright, well, you just stay put here, okay? Okay. Let's stay further back, okay? Let's stay further back. What's her name? Shawanda? What's yours? What's her name? What is it? Ricardo. Ricardo. Yeah. Alright. Okay, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Give you some what? Who gave it to you? So Ricardo, how are you with related to Floyd? How do you know him? How do you know him? Okay. How are you guys together then? Oh, okay, so you two are together.
No, I seen him in the store too, but that's my ex.
How do you two know each other? How did you not know him when he said he's with you?
No, he's dead.
So Ricardo, how are you with related to Floyd? How do you know him? How do you know him? Okay. So how are you guys together then? Oh, okay, so you two are together.
No, I seen him in the store too, but that's my ex.
How do you two know each other?
How did you not know how you said you still feel? No, they told me to come home and you'll give me a back. Okay, just stay put there. I don't need it. I got it. All right, that's good. I'll just stay put, all right? It's making it more difficult. It's making it more difficult. He got changed because he was falling asleep a little bit and then I woke up there.
You see the individual on the left hand walking by.
Oh, yes.
You have no interaction with her at this point?
No.
You'd agree that this is 123 and 17C of your body camera?
Yes.
I spent my money. I paid for my phone. I'm getting a laptop and it didn't work, so he gave me my phones back.
Okay. Okay, sure. What is it? What is it? Where is it? Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's make it quick. Face me. Face me. You guys are no worries or nothing. And after all this is settled, you guys good to go out.
All this is settled. Can I just ask him?
What's right there? So, don't you hear your friend talking? Yelling over there? I can see him yelling and talking. Let me make I'm waiting for my partners. I'll talk to my partner and see what's up. Floyd. You know Floyd?
Yeah, I know the people in the store.
Okay, that's good. That's it, man, Ricardo. Just the door. Alright? Yeah. Nobody's coming close to us, so right now we don't need a mask yet. So right now nobody's coming close to us, so we're good with the mask.
Yeah.
Stay put, guys. Alright? I want to be involved in that. Let's stay here, right?
Shout outs LJ.
stay put here. Alright, I tell my partners and I'm done over there that they can figure things out. Go figure things out, alright? Right now, we're grabbing an ambulance for your buddy. For Florida, okay? So he might have hurt himself. He might have hurt himself. Alright? Who knows?
Can I just see what
No.
y'all did?
Joanna, stay over here, okay?
Where?
Joanna. What was that? Okay, let's stay put. We'll figure it out, right? Ricardo? I'm not giving you guys that call, right? Joanna, you're not helping. Once our partners get over here, they can explain to you guys, okay? Where's his phone? We're gonna take the car, okay? No, I don't want you reaching the car, okay?
It's right here on the seat.
He'll get to his car once he's done with that, okay? His car is not going anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Don't go into the car. I don't want you guys going to the car. That's it. Well, once our partners come over here, yes and yes, right? What? Let's go straight, man. It's tight here. That's good? I don't know.
Officer Chang, pausing the video for a second to agree that the ambulance appears to be leaving at 1:30:21 on your body mark cam.
Yes. Let's wait for 320. Here's a book, man. Yeah, are you guys doing pizza? Here's a book. Here's another book. His phone. He's already gone. Doesn't need his phone. Is that his phone? Put his phone back.
Yeah, put his phone back. He's
gone already. He went to the hospital.
Tell him where it is.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Put his phone back. That's it.
Yeah.
I was like, call it back. I was over there. What happened?
I didn't talk to him yet. He probably didn't talk to me. So, nope.
No, that man took your name.
So, supposedly your partner has his
What happened to him? They
Your partner is indoors.
He said.
already gone. He doesn't need his phone. Is that his phone? Put his phone back. Yeah, put his phone back. He's gone or he went to the hospital. Tell him where it is.
He said he's already gone. He don't need his phone. This is after Shawanda Hill and Maurice was on the wall the whole time they was murdering him.
Here's a book, man. You know what you guys doing? Here's a book. Here's a notebook. His phone. He's already gone. He doesn't need his phone. Is that his phone? Put his phone back. Yeah, put his phone back. He's gone or he went to the hospital. Tell him where it is.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Put his phone back. That's it.
Yeah. I was like, call his family tonight. I want to go back there. What happened?
I didn't talk to him yet. Okay. Nope.
No, that man took our name.
So, supposedly you probably has his
What happened to him? They said
you probably is indoors.
he said they took your foot on his back. They took it. I don't understand what I'm saying. What? I tried to get him in the car. I tried. I told him he can't wait. Don't get in the car. I kept telling him. Okay, you can't win, bro. Get in the car. I know you can't win.
They're good? Yeah, okay. You guys are good? Well, he said are good, but I'm not sure about that. What?
That's Sylvia's trunk. That's our friend Sylvia.
Okay.
Ex-coworker. Let me tell you, if I get a phone, I can call her and tell her, sir.
Oh, the guard's supposed to stay put right here until we figure it out.
Well, you better like put the phone
No. Just stay put. My partner's gonna come back. I don't know what the plan is. I don't want you guys touching the car.
Look at Ty's face.
Come back.
Look at Ty's face.
I don't want you guys touching the car.
He already know he fucked up. Look at his face. That's the face of an Asian man that knows he's fucked up. Let's just keep it real.
You'd agree that the timestamp on your body-worn camera when the fire truck arrives is 1:32 50 seconds precision, correct?
Yes. I hear Michael. Something false? Okay. So I think this car, when I got here, the doors were open, so they're both locked. I don't know. So, you see how it is? 10 minutes? Okay. Are you
still ready? Still ready?
Can y'all remember his song though, please?
We'll see what happens, all right? You guys just stay put until fighters come back here.
At this point, they have no idea that Charvin, King, and the tall motherfucker that was with him, I forgot his name, they were in commission of killing him. In my opinion, Shawanda Hill shouldn't even have been detained. If she would have known her rights, she could have been about 7, 8 blocks away from the situation by now.
Hurt Miles today. Click the
Too much talking going on for me. If I was up on that wall, I wouldn't be saying shit.
We'll see what happens, all right? You guys just stay put until fighters come back here. So Ricardo, how are you related to Floyd? How do you know him?
None of your business. I don't answer questions. That's too much information. Now you tied down.
How do you know him? Okay. So how are you guys together then? Oh, okay, so you two are together.
No, I seen him in the store too, but that's my ex.
Are you?
Too much information.
How do you two know him?
Shout outs breaking the
Do you
floor.
not know him when he said he's with you?
No, they been riding him too. He told me to come home and he'll give me a back.
Okay. Just stay put then.
I don't need him. I'm not a good.
Alright, that's good.
Is this her right here?
I'll just stay put, alright? It's making it more difficult. It's making it more difficult.
He got changed when he was falling asleep in his bed and thinking I woke up.
You see the individual in the left hand walking by.
Oh, yes.
You have no interaction with her at this point.
No.
Do you agree that this is 123 and 17C of your body camera footage?
Yes.
I spent my last day for my mom. I was getting a laptop and it didn't work, so he gave me my phone is bad.
Okay.
You can come in and talk to him.
Okay, sure.
Everybody must think I've been mad.
is it? What is it? Where is it? Go ahead. Go ahead. Speak it quick. Face me. Face me. That's good. You guys have no worries or nothing. Then after all this is settled, you guys good to block.
All this is settled.
I can't speak so much for Maurice Hall, but if I was, shout out to Creole, definitely, if I was Shawanda Hill, most likely I wouldn't even have been there because they would have had to tell me what crime I committed. I'm a pass. Matter of fact, I was this. Was she even? Yeah, she was in the back seat. I'm a passenger in a vehicle. What crime did I commit? I'd have been out the situation 10, 12 blocks away by this time. But because she's still there, if I was her, I would have remained silent. And definitely if I was Maurice Hall, I wouldn't have been saying nothing.
Don't you hear your friend talking? Y'all know that? I can sit down yelling and talking. Let me make the I'm waiting for my partners. I'll talk to my partner and see what's up. Floyd. You know Floyd? Yeah, I know the people in the store. Okay, that's good. That's it, man. Ricardo. Just the door. Alright? Nobody's coming close to us, so right now we don't need a mask yet. So right now nobody's coming close to us, so we're good with the mask. Stay put, guys. Alright? I want to be involved in that. Let's stay here, right? Let's stay put here. Alright, tell my partners and I'm done over there that they can figure things out. We'll figure things out, alright? Right now, we're grabbing an ambulance for your buddy. For Florida, okay? So he might have hurt himself. He might have hurt himself. Alright? Who knows?
And I just still about this.
Joanna? Stay over here, okay?
Yes. Where?
Ma'am, you hear the voice of the officer that has this body cam on. You can hear that he's in his voice. He's getting a little paranoid because he can hear across the street all the yelling. So he's starting to know that the situation is heightened. He's sensing that. And now he has to try to worry about detaining two suspects that he really don't have no idea what's going on with the whole situation. But he has two suspects detained on the wall, and they're across the street killing them motherfucker.
I just did what this.
Joanna, stay over here, okay?
Where?
Voice starting to get shaky. He don't know what the fuck's going on.
Joanna. What's that? Okay, let's stay put. We'll figure it out, right? We got him. I'm not gonna answer calls, right? Joanna, you're not helping. Once our partners get over here, they can explain to you guys, okay? Where's his phone? We're gonna take the car, okay? No, I don't want you reaching the car, okay?
It's right there on the seat.
He'll get to his car once he's done with that, okay? His car's not going anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Don't go into the car. I don't want you guys going to the car. That's it.
Shout outs to Denise Wynn.
Well, once our partners come over, yes and ask, right? What? Let's go straight, man. It's tight here. Yes, good? Oh. I don't know.
Officer Chang, pausing the video for a second, you agree that the ambulance appears to be leaving at 1:30:21 Z on your body one cam?
Yes. Let's wait for the green light. Here's the book, man. Yeah, are you guys doing decent? Here's the book. Here's another book. His phone. He's already gone. He doesn't need his phone. Is that his phone? Put his phone back.
Yeah, put his phone back. He's
gone already. He went to the hospital.
Tell him where it is.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Put his phone back. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's call his family come back. I was over there.
I didn't talk to them yet. Okay. So, nope.
No, that man took our ambulance.
So, suppose you already has his
What happened to him?
After Barner, he's indoors.
He said.
They kept your foot on it. They kept it. I don't know.
What?
I tried to get him in the car. I tried. I told him he can't wait. Don't get in the car. I kept telling him. Okay. You can't wait, bro. Get in the car. I know you can't wait.
Good? Yeah. Okay. All right, you guys are good. I'm not too sure about that. What?
That's Sylvia's truck. That's our friend Sylvia.
Okay.
It's co-worker. Let me try. If I get a phone, I can call her and tell her, sir.
Oh, the car's gonna stay put right here. So we'll figure it out.
Well, you better like it because it's phone.
No. Just stay put. My car is gonna come back. I don't know what the plan is. I don't want you guys touching the car.
You'd agree that the timestamp on your body-worn camera when the fire truck arrives is 1:32 and 50 seconds C, correct?
Yes. I didn't hear anybody call the fire. Something call?
I don't think it's related.
Okay. So I think it's car. I think when I got here, the doors were open, so they're both out. I don't know. So is he on his tenant? Okay. He's still red. He's still red. Yeah. So it's a freaking 36.
This is Chime, a mobile bank.
Officer Chang, you'd agree that now the fire truck appears to be leaving, correct?
Yes.
Timestamp on your video is 1:35:06, correct?
Yes.
Subject to the court hearing. Now, a few follow-up questions here, Officer Chang, for you. It seems to me that you're walking around quick. Can you explain why?
Spacing backwards to make sure I guess, and also secure for officer safety for the crowd. Just want to make sure that officers are okay.
Did you observe other people at other locations besides where Mr. Floyd and the officers were?
You can say at least one at every corner of the intersection.
Did you observe people standing in the Speedway parking lot?
Yes.
And there were one or two people on the corner where you guys were?
Yes.
And at least one person across the street to the west, right?
Yes.
Southwest corner. Now, in terms of the general area, would you describe that as a pretty busy intersection?
Yes. Traffic and foot traffic.
So, a fair number of cars, vehicles traveling through that intersection?
Yes.
as well as a fair number of people on bikes or on foot walking past. All right.
Let me pause this right here, ladies and gentlemen. I want to check something out real quick. Chuck Bronson is supposed to be at the
When you were doing that, those 4 officers.
location of Indianapolis at the mass casualty shooting. I just want to check in to see what's the progress with his location and what's going on. Give me 1 second. I will say that if he is there, I ask you guys to go over there and raid his chat, shout him out, and check out what's going on with that situation that he's covering over there in Indianapolis.
Zoom man, my Zoom camera.
All right, y'all. So I think he's at the location. Y'all could go over and y'all can go ahead and get out this chat. Go over there. He's located at the airport FedEx facility in Indianapolis. Go over there, shout him out, tell him the resistance sent you. Go ahead, raid the chat, show him some love.
That's the Indiana State Police. That's not it.
Now make sure y'all go over there to Chuck Bronson's channel. That's Chuck Bronson, ladies and gentlemen. Put that channel up there for y'all so y'all can see it. Child's Maddie Madness. All right, y'all. I'm gonna shut it on down. I appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all go over there to Chuck Bronson's channel. It's supposed to be at the location over there in Indianapolis at the airport. The mass casualty shooting. Go ahead and check that channel out. I'm gonna watch it, but I'm gonna sign off. Y'all have a good night. It's the Resistance.